Sky Squad, we are back in the building. And as I told you guys earlier today, the news is pop, lock, and dropping. Okay. Pop, lock, and dropping. And we got to discuss it all, because that's what we do over here, baby. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell button. And we have got to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. And Drew committing a cardinal housewives sin today. Okay. Well, I don't know if it was today, but it was definitely during a recent interview. So we are going to discuss exactly what she had to say, what she did wrong, why it was wrong, or if you guys actually agree with her. Okay. So let's go ahead and stage dive into it without further ado. So, this has to do with really Sheree and Sanya, okay? Now, you guys know that Sheree and Drew have had their beef. Sanya and Drew have had their beef. And even though while we are on the show currently, it looks like things have gotten better, it doesn't appear as though that is actually the case in real life, in present day, in present time. And maybe it has to do with something that happened at the reunion. We will just have to wait and see. However, according to our friends over at Jay's reality blog, they happened to pick up an interview that Drew Sidora and her husband Ralph did. Now, in this interview, they asked Drew, who would she trade? Who would she like to trade for, on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which peaches she would like to trade. And so she said that she would trade Sanya and Sheree's peaches, and she would rather give them to Porsha, Cynthia, and Eva Marcel. Now, here's the thing that I want to talk to you guys about. I mean, there's a couple of things that we need to discuss within this. All right. Number one, it is usually not a good idea to really answer this question truthfully, because what that does is, I don't know if you guys recall Nene being asked this question on Watch What Happens Live. I think it was Watch What Happens Live, years and years ago. And I think at the time she and Cynthia were kind of beefing, and she kind of sort of insinuated that, maybe Cynthia shouldn't have a peach. I cannot remember the exact verbiage, so we're just gonna say alleged. But you guys may recall that point in time. Since then, I think Nene has kind of refrained from answering questions like that, because really what it does is, in my opinion, it comes back to bite you in the butt. And the reason why is, at the time, Cynthia was like, you are sitting up here saying that, I don't deserve a seat at this table. And that I shouldn't be on this show, but that's taking food off of my table, because what you are doing is putting a bug in the ear of the powers that be, that these people don't belong on the show. So for me, I always feel like nowadays when housewives are asked that question, even if it's someone they don't like in general, they typically do not answer this question. And they usually say, well, everyone brings something different to the table. If I'm your PR person, that's what I'm telling you to say. However, I also have to respect the honesty in it, okay? Because I know that there are many people who will feel like, say what you gotta say it with your chest out, and mean it, and stand 10 toes down in it. Now, so I gotta respect that that's also what she said at the same time, even though it may not be the most politically correct thing to do. Now, she says, Sanya basically can run off the show. Let me know if you guys agree with her choices. And she says that Sheree is typically just usually a one and done anyway. So it makes more sense for her just to have come back for this one season and then be gone the next. Okay. I was like, well, dang, Drew. I mean, dang. And these are the ladies that she would like to bring back. Okay. Now, personally speaking, I feel like the only person that has any likelihood of returning to this show in any capacity in the future would be Porsha Williams, as she herself. Andy considered her to be on a pause, but he also said Dorinda was on a pause. But anyway, I think Dorinda is going back to the Legacy show on the Real Housewives of New York. But I digress, because we're talking about Atlanta. Okay, so back to Atlanta. I think that Porsha could be the most likely candidate to come back to this show simply because she has a great relationship with the network. She just did the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. It seems like Girls Trip is a good way to get some of these ladies back into the fold. There's talks about Phaedra coming back to Bravo because of a leaked message from Kelly Dodd that indicated that both Dorinda and Phaedra were coming back in some capacity. Phaedra has expressed interest in going to Dubai. Dorinda, I believe, like I said earlier, is going to the Real Housewives of New York Legacy show. And so we have Tamra going back to OC, Taylor Armstrong joining OC as a friend of. So this just does Ultimate Girls Trip does seem like, especially this past season, does seem like an inroads back in. Eva is the only person I feel like probably has zero chance of coming back, and not necessarily because she is not invited back, because she did very well on the Ultimate Girls Trip, better than she did on Atlanta, in my opinion. But I believe that Eva has also just moved on to other things, like, the acting. She's got All the Queen's Men. She's got the radio stuff. So Eva, to me, it sounds like has a full plate. And I prefer Eva, honestly, in these roles because I feel like it's just not in her nature to be combative with other women, even though we know she can go if she needs to. Okay. And with Cynthia, I feel like at this point in time, Cynthia is exploring her other opportunities in movies and television and shows. And I am happy and excited to see Cynthia out there winning. So I just don't see that happening. Could I see them making some pop-ups here and there? Absolutely. But Porsha's the one I would keep my eye on. So the next thing that she talked about was obviously the Marlo of it all. Now, here is some tea that she actually revealed in this interview, because basically we got another clip on Jay's reality blog. And again, I'm not going to give you guys all of the tea about that, everything that she said, because I want you guys to go look at it on Jay's reality blog. Get the info there too. But we're going to talk about the highlights here, the high level here. So it says in the headline, Drew Sidor weighs in on Kenya Moore and Marlo Hampton season 14 drama and agrees that Marlo was being extra to secure her peach, and gives an update on where she stands with Marlo currently. Now, you guys know that she and Marlo had some, not really her and Marlo, but Marlo definitely had some thoughts about, Ralph kind of reneging on his but his stance on adopting Josiah due to what he felt like Josiah's father wouldn't really like, right? Let me say blood father, okay? Because at this point, Ralph is a father as well to Josiah. But anyway, it appears as though she and Marlo in a good place, but she does feel like Marlo did a little acting out for this peach, right? And so the tea that she spills is basically that at the reunion, Marlo does a lot of apologizing. Okay. So much apologizing that at a certain point, Drew had to look over and ask, I mean, Marlo, is this even real? So I don't know if Marlo's gonna really be standing 10 toes down in the things that she had to say about the people this season, especially, some of the things that she had to say about Kandi being allegedly effed out of Atlanta. Y'all remember that? So it'll be interesting to see come reunion time exactly what role Marlo plays, how apologetic she genuinely is, and whether or not the ladies actually accept those apologies, because that will be a very good look into how things will play out for Real Housewives of Atlanta come season 15. Okay. So let me know what you guys think. Did Drew commit the cardinal sin that I believe she did? Or do you guys feel like, no, she was being honest, she was being truthful, she was being real, and she has every right to feel that way? Because let me tell you something. I'm here for it all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. A new episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I believe, is on tonight. So we will be able to see that. And we are this much closer to the finale and that She by Sheree presentation, which I cannot wait to see. So make sure you guys keep it locked to Bravo as well. And we will catch you guys in the next video.